Image Arts is a Cincinnati-based performing arts company that promotes cultural awareness and appreciation through art and music. Baoku Moses and his Image Afrobeat band are having a New Year's Eve party tonight.
Thank you so much. That is a very powerful question because as tiny as I may look, it's sometimes even hard for me to know who am I. But I will try. My name is Baoku Moses, originally from Elisha, Osun State, born in Ibadan. And I've been an artist for over 25 years. In 1994, I accidentally stumbled into performing art. By act of God, what I would say, because when you look at our destiny, it's very strange how it's woven together. Imagine a wheelbarrow pusher walking towards a drum sound one day and boom, it's done. I became an actor that evening. And from there, a year later, moved up to a bigger stage. I was like, wow, it looks like I have a destiny in this thing. And within that year, I discovered that I can think. For the first time in my life, I can actually think. Wow, Baoku can think. Well, by that time, I was not Baoku. I was just somebody. And when people were choosing stage name, that was when Baoku came up. Modeling towards everything I've been through in my life. And I said, I want a stage name that will resonate, not only for me, but especially for people that will read my story. Maybe even after when I'm long gone, 95 years old and gone, and people say, wow, this guy, if he's able to make it, if he made it, I think I can too. So Baoku emerged. And composition started from writing for script, writing for local theater, stage, TV, name it. And then in '97, the real Baoku emerged after the passing of Abameda Fela Nicola Pokuti. And many years later, about 3 or 4 performing art companies later, 8.5 years worth of performances in Nigerian training, I can say I became an actor, a dancer, cultural dancer, and a drummer, and a composer of several songs under my belt before life took me to the US in 2002. So that is summary. In summary, that's who Baoku is till 2002. Part determination, part destiny, part calling, lot of things. Because to the contrary of what we are sold on TV, when we watch the blinks, the NBA, the rap music, the pop stars, and inviting us all to America and Europe to come live the American dream life. Contrary to that, it's not so. So part everything kept me an artist because I just kept saying to myself, Baoku, nǹkan tó gbé wá sí America lélẹ̀, báwo wá ṣe filẹ̀ tó ní máa ṣe mọ́. So I determined that what brought me to America will keep me in America, and it's the same thing that by the grace of God brought me back home. Because since 2002 that I was there, before I came home 2.5 months ago, I managed under odd circumstances to register 2 companies in performing arts. I managed to make 2 albums, Afrobeat album. And if you know your Afrobeat, not the things they are playing on radio and TV today, please don't call that Afrobeat, but that's a different story. I managed to record 2 Afrobeat albums and released it globally. I managed to run a band from 2005 non-stop till 2018 when I slowed down a little bit because I was preparing, I was waiting for God to just say, okay, what do I do next? And thankfully so, about May last year, the calling came and said, Baoku, it's time for you. I send you here to go get and accumulate and acquire this knowledge. Now it's time for you to use it for me. And I said, okay, let's go. So I was able to manage, I was able to keep my passion, because that was what kept me going. Instead of, you know, all my factory works that I did, or like manufacturing work, because if you don't have degree in US, forget it. You either go acquire one, or you end up on factory line. So when you end up on the factory line, you're only working to feed yourself. And if you're only working to feed yourself, that is the positive side though. But if you want to go negative side, that is a different story for another day. Positive side, factory line, you're working to feed yourself. But as a passionate person that have passion for somebody, for something, you keep that passion first, and everything else is secondary. Even at one time, some of the things that I'm passionate about that I pick up became secondary, like girlfriends and stuff like that became secondary. And they always like, you fell in love with your music. Like, why not? Why won't I? I have the talent for it. So that is what kept my artistic life, artistic expression, and experience going despite all the odds. And here I am, answering God's call in that line. So I mentioned that in 2018 I slowed down. I slowed down because I had to, because financially, juggling between working first and second shift and then running to the band practice to practice and then trying to make money from shows that says we pay you with exposure, it wasn't cutting it. So by 2018 I said, okay, let me focus on making money. So I became a truck driver. Little did I know that I will actually make more art driving truck, you know, the one they call Ajagbejo here. Driving truck, I make more music. I made more music in that truck more than when I did not driving truck. So one day, precisely May 4th, I was driving, May 4th, 2020. I was driving, can't remember where I was going, and just going, listening to one of the inspirational people that I listen to, and I heard Peace Offering. The creative people, when we get our creative inspiration, whatever position we're in is always like we are not right, so you sit right, like, and then you start paying attention to that creative mindset that is coming through. I was like, wow, Peace Offering, what is? And then the next thing I know is that I was crying. I started crying because I was listening to someone that inspires me a lot, in the name of Tokwe Alabi. When I was getting that inspiration, I started crying, bawling my face out. I'm like, wow. And then I started asking questions, why me? Why me? Because right away I know what that meant, Peace Offering. Like, oh wow, that is missing. And I've had some projects that was geared towards Nigerian audience for so many years that I have not, African continent in general, that I have not tapped into. But it made sense that I had to do this first. And right away, the idea just stacked up. Everything I needed to do stacked up, including names of some artists that I have to call, including the person that I need to call that I just met a week before, that we write the ideas out that I can remember and send it back to me so that I can continue to develop it. Everything just stacked up, and God said, now you have to go. As I go, where? You're going to Nigeria. Like, why? I'm fine here. No, you have to go do this, because when you do this, then you can do this, then you can do this, then you can do this. Like, wow, this all are making sense. Then after I got out of the prayer and meditation and crying and dry my face, still driving, I pick up my phone and call my friend and say, please listen to me, don't ask questions, just write. And she wrote out all the ideas, and there comes what we're calling today Peace Offering Project. And the idea of Peace Offering Project is that in Nigeria we are clamoring for progress. We want that progress, we want Nigeria to change, but we are missing two steps. So we have to walk backwards. One, there is no peace without unity, and there is no progress without peace. So I feel like we need to have something that unifies us, which will create some sense of peace. Then we can continue to, from when we are peaceful, look for ways together for us to progress as a unit, as people together, as a nation. So when I got that calling, God said, you need to form a team. I put a team together, and a very, very dear brother to me that has been working with me for over 12 years, I called him, I'm like, bros, I feel like saying, because it's like many calls that I've made to him. His name is Joshua Akaku. I've made at least, to that point, 50 calls. Another idea, I think this will be the one. So I call him and I said, no, I think this one will be the one. So what we're going to do is create a group, and we're not going to try to do it alone, because that's not the instruction. We are going to create a planning committee, and that was it. That was the beginning of Peace Offering Project. And many months later, the unique thing about this project is that we do not move until we hear. So I hear, I digest, give it out, and we analyze and plan it, and then we push it. So today, Peace Offering Project is gone from the United States, where I came from, 18 years later, to Nigeria. And we've gone all over Nigeria pitching this project, and we're about to do the press conference, which will lead to the first stage of the project, which is a audio production with some Nigerian celebrities and global release. A song that, by the grace of God, it's not that I hope, I'm done hoping. By the grace of God, this song will be a song that will unite people, because the song cuts across every barrier imaginable. And then the second stage is that we are going to do a music video for that song that will now feature every aspect of the barrier we have been carrying, from political to gender to cultural, tribal, to religion, and to age. You know, we have this disparity between ages too. We will try to cut across all that barrier from pre-colonization up until now in that video. And when we are done with that, we will then do a 3-mega Wazobia concert. After the release, global release of the video, we will get in the saddle, start doing preparing this mega concert that will lead to us staging one of the biggest concerts in Nigeria at 3 parts of Nigeria that represent the 3 major tribes. We're not saying Nigeria only have 3 tribes, no, but you cannot be bearing Abiodun for 50 years now and just suddenly want to change it. Yes, we actually know globally that Nigeria is place of majorly Yoruba, Igbo and Hausa. Then we have subgroups. So we don't forget all other tribes. We actually feature them in so many ways in this project. So this project is here to stay, and it's going to take a year to finish it, from the inception to conclusion. What is peace offering? Very simple. Your father, my father, your great-great-great-grandfather, my great-great-great-grandmother, one way or the other, some time ago, they've offended each other, and we keep offending each other till today. And now, before we can move forward together as a nation, there's a need for us to offer each other Joma Binu, Biko, no vex. Dahala, please, I'm sorry about whatever you might have done, I might have done, knowingly or unknowingly, to offend you. Because beneath our differences, which is Hausa, Igbo, Efik, Nigerian, American, beneath all that, the first thing we are is that we are humans. And as humans, we cannot work together and not offend each other. So for us to move forward as one people, we need to appease each other and find that soft spot in our heart to embrace our differences and celebrate our similarities, because there are more similarities in our lives than differences actually. So Peace Offering is a project that we gear towards us coming together and letting each other know, I see you. Do you see me? Please let us find peace together. My name is Baoku Moses, the initiator of Peace Offering Project. Remember, peace cannot be attained without unity. Also remember, we are all in this together.